Welcome to Star Think 4 TV. I'm the one and only Brandon L. Draper, better known as the Motivational King. Don't believe me? Just keep on watching. In today's segment, what we're going to talk about is Mastermind coaching a good fit for you, right? And one of the things I always tell people, champions train, losers complain, right? So why do you need a coach, right? Why would you need a coach and with all the information around? There's unlimited resources at your fingertips. So why would you need someone to tell you what you already know? And that's what a lot of people believe today. Like, man, I don't need someone to tell me what I already know, right? There's books by the millions. There are a bunch of online resources, internet. Everyone has access to internet. Even grandma has access to internet now. She may not even have a Facebook photo up, but she still has access to the information, right? So there's magazines and articles, a lot of different, places where you can really draw information from and make some pretty good decisions. So what is the coach needed for, right? Libraries upon libraries, free information. I mean, you can go to Barnes and Nobles or any other bookstore and, maybe buy a cup of Java, and read an article or read a book for free. On the house, you can go through so many magazines and articles. So here comes the question again. So why do we need a coach? Because mere information and knowledge by themselves do not transform lives. Coaches do, right? So life transformation requires human interaction. That's all to it. You have to have the connection. See, the thing about it is this. Anyone can communicate a message. You can get a message from reading an article. You can get some information from reading a book. But the transformation requires a human interaction. Someone is able to hold you accountable, right? So what is coaching? That's the biggest question. What is coaching? How is this a good fit for me, right? Coaching is the art of coming alongside an individual to help him or her grow, whether that's in their professional life or their personal life, right? But the key word there is coming alongside of, not working for, not working against, but coming alongside of an individual to help them grow, whether that's in their personal or professional life, right? All right, coaches are change experts, right? That's what we do. We help individuals like yourself take responsibility to act and maximize their own potential, right? The history of coaching. First of all, let's talk about coaching is one of the fastest growing industry in America today. Everyone wants to be a coach, but not everyone can be a coach, right? That makes sense to you. So a lot of people, it's hard for you to coach someone on things that you're weak in. So as a coach, there are certain things that you must embody. So some of the things that I embody when it comes to business, I have a lot of strengths in those areas. And there's some areas in coaching that I would never coach anyone because I haven't mastered that craft yet. So there are over 10,000 professional coaches working in the business and corporate world. Why is that? Because people need help. People want people to come alongside of them to guide them so that they can get to their highest potential, right? So that's why we have so many coaches. So let's talk a little bit more about the history of coaching. Now, first of all, coaching is not a new discipline. It's not something that just suddenly happened overnight and someone, you're looking at a video and you're like, oh my God, this person just came. No, coaching's been around for a very long time. So, roots of modern day coaching began about 25 years ago, right? So when people really started using technology and different resources and CDs and cassette players and stuff, they really start leveraging their knowledge to help other people to progress in theirs, right? So became available in public in the last 10 years. So really in the last 10 years, things have really had with all the social media, people have really been able to bring together their expertise and bring that to the marketplace, right? So three main coaching markets that they're really dating. They're really going to talk about America. We talk about America, Canada, the UK. There's a lot of different markets out there. But the big paradigm shift, what is it going to take? Why do you think it's not a good fit for you? Let's talk about it a little bit. Coaching will become a whole new discipline of many ministers and or leaders. So there's a lot of ministers and people that want to grow their ministry. They want to grow as a leader and they want to develop themselves as a leader. So there's certain things that they must have, certain knowledge, and one of the best things about a coach is that a coach is able to kind of be on the outside, the exterior of it, and kind of look and see what the overall picture is, where you as a minister or a leader in your business or corporation or whatever it is that you do, you're kind of already in it and you're involved in it. So there's certain key components that you may not see, and that, my friend, could be the difference between that paradigm shift that you need and not getting it if you don't find the appropriate coach to be able to guide you along that. That's very, very, very important. So let's give an example. Is the following picture, is it a picture of a duck or a rabbit? Look carefully, right? Think about it. Take a couple seconds to look at it. It's all in perspective. Paradigm shift. It can look like a duck if I tell you it looks like a duck. And also if I tell you it's a rabbit, going in the wind, right? But depending on how you see it is based upon the coaching that you get. If I'm coaching you to see it one way, I'm looking at a duck. If I coach you and say it is a rabbit, then you start seeing a rabbit. You see how the paradigm in your mind changes simply by suggestion. So a coach is able to give you a suggestion, and that suggestion can ultimately change your perspective on so many things, right? So let's talk about other paradigms to change, right? So a shift from counseling to coaching. A lot of people, they rely on a lot of counseling, but counseling is a little bit different than coaching, right? There's a big difference, right? Counseling to coaching. Let's talk about it. What is counseling? Let's talk about some main principles of counseling versus coaching. All right. So in counseling, it's we talk about a paradigm of sometimes getting over hurting people, and versus coaching, where we're talking about healthy people. That counseling part there's oftentimes people are hurting. So it's kind of hard for you to think about getting to the next level when you need that type of evaluation of sorts. But coaching is helping people that want a certain type of result. All right, let's continue on. The next one is about healing. Counseling, you do a lot of healing, where coaching, we're more focused on growth. So we've already gotten past the healing. Now we're on to the part of growth. Counseling has a tendency of talking about the past, where in the coaching aspect, we're more concentrated more on the future and how we're going to bring about a positive change. All right. The counseling is more prescriptive, meaning someone is kind of telling you what to do, where coaching is more collaborative. As a coach, I want to hear your thoughts, your ideas, and I want to know exactly where you are at in order for us to collaborate a potential plan for the next level, right? So under counseling, it's more of trying to get you to be more functionality, and then under coaching is more about fulfilling. You want to fulfill yourself and feel like you're going after and achieving those goals and dreams that you want. So these are some determinant things that determine, is coaching right for you? And then, in the counselors diagnose, and then we, over here in the coaching, we use client discernment. We listen to you, we feel, and then we use the expertise that we have in order to make a change, help you make a change in a positive direction, right? So how mentoring differs from that, right? Mentoring imparts skills, right? Mentoring is informative about a subject, right? Perspective is given from the mentor, right? Because these are some different things on how it differentiates from each other. Mentor is at the top of his or her game. These are people that are very successful in a particular industry, meaning that they are the ones. So, not to use that word, and a lot of people use that word very lightly, guru, but in fact, they are in essence a guru, meaning they're a subject matter expert and in the top in the industry. So usually they're within the top 10% of the industry. So they hold themselves in regard to be able to teach and show other people what to do. All right, coaching. All right, coaching is not telling people what to do. It's helping them discover what to do. Did you get that? So that's the difference between coaching, mentoring, or counseling. When we talk about coaching, coaching is not me telling you what to do. It's helping you discover what needs to happen, what you need to do, right? All right. this is a major paradigm shift, especially in the mindset of most people that really don't quite understand what coaching is. For most, and especially for most people in the U.S., we don't understand that. And we always want people to tell us what to do. But in coaching, it's not about telling. It's really about helping people discover who they are despite who they are today, right? And think about that. So, other paradigm shifts from telling to asking, right? It's collaborative. We want to work together, not against each other. And when you start telling people what to do, sometimes they get offended because they feel like they have a real good understanding of what's happening. So it's not about telling someone what to do. As a coach, I can't live through your life, but I can give you some examples, and then I can ask you to follow these steps and see what a result you may get from it. And from that, collaboratively, you can start to begin to trust me and we can move forward. All right. So it's always from that telling to asking. All right. It's that telling paradigm. What does it do? So let's talk about telling paradigm versus the asking paradigm. What's the difference? I know what's wrong. I'll fix you. That's wrong. That's not what coaching is about. That's not. That's a telling paradigm. And I tell you, I know what's wrong. I'll fix you. Well, half the times we all have something wrong with us. So how can you fix any given person? All right. So in the asking paradigm, it's not my job to fix you. You are responsible for your own life. So let's collaboratively come up with some ideas and ways on how to look at things and possibly process some information a little different. All right. Right information is all you need. So in that telling paradigm is always the right information is all you need. If you have the right information, then things will change. But in the asking paradigm, information alone will not transform because we're looking for a transformational shift. And that's more important than anything, right? So let's talk about the telling paradigm. Let's continue talking about it, right? So what are some other things? All right, my value to you is I can share my knowledge and wisdom and you can learn, right? That's me telling you something that I assume that you are me, that I can somehow live through you off of my shortcomings and mistakes as a coach. That's wrong. That's the telling paradigm. A lot of people are so accustomed to that, but in the coaching model, we're asking. So my value to you is my ability to help you draw from your own experience and knowledge of things, right? To help you recognize some things that you may already know, right? So you can't solve this without me. That's wrong. That's the telling paradigm. That's someone trying to sucker you into, absorbent fees and stuff like that. I know, you can solve the problem on your own, but understand that it may take you longer to do it without having a coach. Think about some sports players, the NBA, NFL, all these people have coaches, not just a coach on the field, but coaches outside to help them train so they can get better at what they do. So it's not a matter of them not being able to do well during the season without the coaching, but it may take them a little longer. And that's what I'm telling you. So you can solve the problem without me. You don't need a coach to do it, but it may take you long. So what we're trying to do is curve the learning curve there so it doesn't take you so long to do it. Think about it. But then in the asking paradigm, you are able to be the steward of your own life, right? Because your life's been given to you, so why can't you transform? So the only thing I can do is help guide and collaborate. Let's come up with some ideas. Let's get in a community of people that can better understand what it is that we're talking about. All right, so we're going to continue talking about this asking versus telling. And this kind of lets you know if coaching is good for you, right? So in the telling paradigm, what do we got? Change comes from knowing the right options and information, right? That's telling you something. But in the asking paradigm, change is the function of support and motivation rather than mere information. Information you can get, we talked about that early on. You can get all the information in the world from a magazine, article, YouTube videos, they're all over. So we got to make that paradigm shift, and change is the function of support and motivation rather than just pure information. You can have all the information in the world, but if you don't know how to act on that information and you're not really motivated to act on that information, where does the transformation comes from? Okay, so let's continue. Other paradigm shifts, right? So client sets the agenda, not the coach, right? You know where you're at and what you're doing. So how can I set the course of your life, right? You know what you want, you tell me that, and then we can come up with an action plan based on your needs and where you're at. But we're going to do that more of a collaboratively as a team. So meaning this is done in a group setting. Everyone doesn't have a lot of time to sit down, so we're trying to make it very convenient for you to be able to get the information that you need. Right? Clients set the agenda. All right, it's never okay for a coach to say, "Here's what we're doing today." Right? I never do that because it doesn't matter what I want to do. I'm not coaching myself, I'm coaching you as a client. So it's about you and your needs. So through our program, we have hot seats and different things that we allow you as a participant to be able to ask those hard to ask or hard to reason questions within your business organization or even in your personal life, right? So rather it's what's going on in your life, or tell me how you're doing with XYZ. How are you doing with your business? How are you doing with your finances? How are you doing? That allows us to be able to move to the next level. So other paradigm shifts we're going to talk about. Let the client do the thinking, right? It's not my job to do the thinking for you, because then it would be me trying to live through you. And I'm not trying to live through you. I'm trying to guide you and cultivate you in a particular direction that you have preset or predated and say that that's the direction I want to go, right? Let the client do the thing. We got to do that. Create a climate where where it allows them to think, right? By asking powerful questions. That's what I do. I'm going to ask you powerful questions. I want to know your why about stuff. I'm going to observe you as a client. What is it about you that makes you scared? What is it that may terrify you? What makes you feel confident? What makes you, don't feel good about yourself? What are some things you feel that you're not good at? And that's, and I do that by listening, active listening, not listening to necessarily everything that you say, but listening to how you feel. See, there's a difference between the two. So sometimes we say things, but the way in which we say it, there's emotions attached to that. So you got to be observant. You have to be listening to the emotions, not just the words, because the words sometimes are just fillers that try to cover up the emotions, right? And by asking probing questions that ultimately make you feel comfortable enough just to tell the truth, because we can't get further in the coaching process if we can't be open and honest with each other. And that's one of the most important things. And by shifting, we have to constantly shift the paradigm of our thinking and our interactions with each other, right? So 5 things coaching will do for you. Let's talk about it real quick. 1, you will experience more true life transformation. That's what it's about, transformation. You making a change, metamorphosizing of sorts to another level. That's very important. You want to get from one level and transform to another level so you can constantly grow, right? So 2, you will grow fast and be able to get much more accomplished. Remember before when we talked about saying that you can do it without a coach? You can. But it's going to be a longer, harder, transformation. How many years do you really have? Do you have 20, 30 years? Do you have 50 years? How long will it take you? No one knows, but when you have a coach that has a proven record that can systematically show you ways on how you can possibly change the way you process information, change some of the things you do and how you look at things, that can ultimately make the transition a lot more faster and help you accomplish your goals that you need, right? You will unleash people to their true potential. So not only will you be able to experience a transformation, but you'll be able to have a transformational impact on other people's lives as a direct result of you getting coached and understanding these fundamentals. The reason I'm here before you today is because I had a transformational experience from those individuals that coached me, right? And that allowed me to open up and be able to give out what I received, right? So, number 4, you'll be able to develop more people. That's the key to it. If you're a leader, one of the things you want to do is you want to duplicate yourself. You want to make more leaders. You want to be able to develop more people so that they can become the best, version of themselves and allow you to continuously grow, right? And number 5, you'll greatly improve your interpersonal skills. You will drastically be able to deal with a lot of different personalities, people, and also situations a lot better because now you have the coping skills to make it happen, right? All right, so great coaching is database. You gotta have information. So I have to have information on you. It's not just about me getting on the phone or on the video in front of you and just talking to you. I need to get data. I need to know where you're at statistically. Like, where are your stats? How's your business doing? financially, what's really going on. So there's so many different things. Relationship focus. You and I have to have a relationship. So if you're part of our mastermind group, I want to have a relationship with you. I want you to know that you can reach out and talk to me so we can really start forging that relationship, that we can really start, engaging. And I want you to engage in the community that we have when it comes to coaching. All right. It's going to be, is great coaching is slower, not faster. Meaning it's not a assembly line where you just boom, 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 and you're trying to get people out. It's not what it's about. And that's why we set it up the way we do it, because we know that it's a long-going process. Some people need coaching for, a year. Some people need coaching for 2-3 years. So why do we just bundle everything up? Because it's about the progression. Some people will progress faster than others, and that's okay. But we got to understand that good coaching is not always faster. Sometimes it's slower. You know what I'm saying? It's where you're at. We meet you where you're at, right? So it requires dialogue. We must talk. We must have communication. So it's very important that as you go through the coaching process, that you're filling out the surveys, that you're answering the questions, that you're responding to emails, because that allows us to have a better understanding of you, and we're having that open communication. Lines of communication is everything, right? And it requires a heart. In this business that I do, it's not just about getting paid. It's about caring enough about people to know. And the best payment you ever can get is seeing that transformation that happens in a person's life when that light bulb just goes off and like, wow, I got it. I'm ready to move on to the next level. There's no payment that can come, that can surmount to that. But it's very important that you got to have a heart, and that's a two-way street there. Me as a coach have to have heart in your situation and what you're going through to try to help you develop your business and your ideas. But at the same time, you need to have a heart to understand what we're doing is more than just about you. It's about a community of people that ultimately are trying to change their life. All right, and it requires humility. You got to be humble. You got to be in a place of, you got to be coachable. You got to be willing to learn. Some people, they are what we call know-it-alls. They know everything. But if you knew it all, you wouldn't be here. And that's not an insult. That's for anybody. Because even myself, I get coached. I still have people that mentor me, because I humble myself and know that there's still a lot more for me to learn. And just because something is not comfortable to me does not necessarily mean that it's not right. It's just that something that I'm not familiar with. So a lot of what we may talk about in the coaching process may be things that you're just unfamiliar with. It's best just to humble yourself and just continue the process. And maybe later on it'll be, you will see why we took that approach to it, right? So, conclusion, major paradigm shifts may take place in the life of a leader to embrace the coaching industry. So, if you are in business for yourself and you want to make that transformation, here's your time. It's very important that you take charge of your life now. Make the important decisions to take your business and also your personal life, because in my opinion, I'm a strong believer that how you do some things is how you do everything. And that's been my philosophy for many, many, many years. And that's how I look at it. How you do some things is how you do everything. So here's your opportunity to make a change, to take charge of your life. Right now, you can make that change for a very small nominal price. You can be able to be part of a community of people that are constantly growing their business, constantly growing in their personal life, and it'd be something for you to be able to take it to the next level, to know that you have an opportunity. And maybe I'm not the coach for you, and that's okay, but I'm telling you, you need a coach. And a lot of people say, well, I can't afford a coach. Let me tell you something. If you ever come to the point in your life, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you're in business, and you say, hey, I cannot afford a coach. Let me tell you something. You cannot afford not to have a coach by any means necessary. Get a coach. Get someone that can mentor you. Start where you at. Have someone that can meet you where you're at. But by all means, ensure that you get someone that can continuously pour into you the necessities that is required in order for you to truly be a successful entrepreneur.